Hello, how are you all doing? Let's turn that down a little bit, give it a nice bit of bed music to that. Hello everyone, how are we all doing? We are live, it is Wednesday. Welcome to Question Time. Question Time, if you don't know what it is a chance for you to ask any questions you have about games development or Unreal Engine 4. What am I going on about? I've been teaching class today about user interface and user experience, so I've just got user in my head all damn day. So we've got chat open. Hello everyone, open on chat. We've got Winter, Rafael Agreffa, hello, what's up? Underfunded Scientist, hello. Angus, Omar, hello everyone over on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, wherever you may be watching this from. If you don't know what Question Time is and how it works, you get to ask any question you like into chat, and I'll do my best to answer it as close as I can within the time we have this evening. If you want to watch this on catch up, you can watch it immediately straight away over on Patreon, or you can wait 2 weeks for it to come. Oh no, sorry, Question Time wait till next week for it to come out. So Question Time's come out a week lagged, whereas Patreon they get straight away. So I think that's it. I just want a couple of new news posts really. So snack size is gone. It's now been transformed and turned into how-tos. These new, I say new. This type of video is still exactly the same. It's still short, around about 5 minutes long each, maybe less. But they are short, snappy, edited slightly differently, and they also are sporting the brand new type of thumbnail, which you may have recognised these live streams starting to having. That is going to be something that you're going to see coming in with the main series, and main videos are going to come out as well. Over on Patreon, they are getting the remainder of the Stealth series, Stealth AI series, more FPS RPG. If you don't know what that is, it's basically we've got a Patreon timed exclusive series there where they are going through how to make an FPS RPG like Borderlands or Destiny. So a shooting game with customizable guns and stats, quest system, inventory system, NPCs, stuff like that, all jammed into one type of game. And starting very, very soon, probably next week, will be the real-time strategy game coming out on Patreon as well. So that was voted for by my patrons as the goal. And we met that goal last October, I think it was. So thank you to everyone who reached that goal. That will be starting next week. So look out for that over on patreon.com. Other than that, private tuitions are still available. February is pretty much full all the way through. I've double packed February in, so I'm doing twice as many as normal one-to-one tuitions in February. But March is still open, so if you want to get in with a private one-to-one session with myself and help you out on your game, just pop me an email at support@ryanlay.com and I'll get back to you with quotes and things like that and how much it is. More information is on my website, so by all means head over to ryanlay.com for more information about that. So March is about a quarter full, maybe a bit more, so you want to get in there as soon as possible before it fills up. So let's jump in into the live view here of Unreal, and let's see what questions we got flying through in chat. So if I do miss your question, please don't take it to heart, just keep putting it in there, I'll try and catch it. And so we'll try and do as many as we can in the hour or so that we have. So, hello, let's take another one. Omar, will you make a Donkey Kong 64 remake tutorial? Please do. Unfortunately not. It's too big of a game for a retro remake. However, my game I'm making, my personal game I'm making, is basically a clone of Banjo-Kazooie, which is basically a clone of, well, not clone of, but is also the type of Donkey Kong 64. So, if you follow along with me making my own game, it's going to be pretty much the same as that. To go through that. Rafa La Garafa. I've got a question. What is a good way to know how long has the player held a button? So I've actually got a video on that on my channel. If you just search for it's a snack size video, and I've called it something like a hold button or held button. It goes through that. But the general gist of it is, I just realised you can't see Unreal. You can only see this. Let's move that. That's pointless. You don't want to see that, do you? The general gist of it is that you have the same input as both an action and an axis mapping, because axis mapping is happening all the time. So the action mapping triggers when it detects it's being pushed and then released, and you just count for how long it's held that button down in that time frame. Yeah. Omar, where do you upload a Banjo-Kazooie tutorial? It's not uploaded, it's a live stream. We did one last week. Yeah, last Saturday. So that will be on YouTube publicly in a couple of weeks' time. It's over on Patreon right now for my patrons there. Jordan Johnson, have you thought about making a Match 3 tutorial? I have actually. I was thinking of doing like a mobile game series. I'm trying to show you how to make a mobile game. And I thought about doing a Match 3, but I don't know. I'm still in arms about. I don't know whether to do that or not. We'll see. I've got some cool ideas of how to tweak Match 3 games on their head a little bit. But yeah. Will you ever do a card game tutorial? Interesting. I'll never say never. I would like to do something like that. No idea when that would happen, though, unfortunately. Ilya, sorry, coming up to Kachenko. How to add buoyancy to a child item actor? It doesn't work in my game. Child item actor. Okay, so if you want buoyancy, do you mean like items bobbing around in the water? Is that what you're trying to achieve there, Ilya? So if you want to do that, you need a buoyancy sort of volume. So you go to volumes here, and I can't remember what they call it. What do they call it? Physics volume. And let's just put that. Let's just make a fake little bit of water here. And we'll go down here until it's a water volume. And then I'm going to drag, these are physics-based objects, so I can just drag this in. And buoyancy comes from its density in the real world, and it's the same in here too. So this cube has a density of 442 kilograms of mass, which is quite heavy. But if I tick that and make that like 2, it should hopefully float a bit. Or not. My player skids through it just fine. I would imagine it was just that, but maybe I'm wrong. I've never done it before, so let's have a look. It should be just that. I don't think this has any other water settings. Just water volume. Oh, it's character movement that affects that. Okay, you need to fake it then. So this is a physics-based volume. So what we need to do is something. What do we do? It's not a very good physics volume. Doesn't give me many options, does it? I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. This is going to affect only character movement by the looks of it. Obviously, this is not a character, it's a block. But it should still affect... hang on, let's see if I can make a volume here. So if I go in here and add a physics volume, which we can't do, so it's just a box collision, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. How do you make things float in water? Hang on, let me have a look. I'm curious now. Water volume float item. Now people are using Hmm. Physics, vehicles, physics. Yeah, that's all I'd expect. Must be in there somewhere. Just I'm not familiar. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. So when you make an actor, there's apparently a buoyancy. No. No. Choose buoyancy component. BU. Yeah, no. Maybe this is only the new water mode. I don't think I've got water enabled in my plugins. Hang on. No. Probably need to turn that on. But it requires a restart, so I won't do it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to go about that just yet. What I'll have to do is I'll experiment, come up with a solution, and make a video on it. It probably will involve the new water system, because apparently there's a buoyancy component, and I don't think this has anything like that. For physics, where's the physics section? No. Okay, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'll have a look into it and make a video on it. Unfortunately, sorry. I wish I could. I wish I knew. I hadn't done it before, so I don't know. Zahid Games. How would you make text in the HUD widget or images shake when taking damage or adding onto a combo count? You have to animate them. So when you make a widget and you make text, you have to make an animation for this whole entire thing. Whether you animate the whole canvas panel or not, it's up to you. But we have this one called shake. And on its timeline, we're going to add the canvas panel to it. So it's going to shake the whole entire screen, basically. And we add a track of transform to it. In the transform, we set a keyframe. And I'm going to turn it auto key. I'm going to move the keyframe along a little bit. I don't know, 10th of a second. And tell it to move the transform to the X a little bit. Not too much because it look weird. Move it on. Move it back. Just keep doing this. You get that sort of shake effect. Okay. And you just keep doing that for the length of the clip. So when you want it to play, you just tell it in the graph to play the animation for shake. Play animation. Plug that in. And then I'm going to make my loop. So number of loops to play, change it to 0. And we'll add that to the thing. So, still the player character. And on begin play. Create widget. Choose the new widget. Add to viewport. And now that should, yeah, shake the text block. You can't see it because the Shift F1 thing is in the way, but wait for a second. Okay. And you do that for as long as you need it to shake for, and then you turn it off by doing stop animation. It's a component where you add in the details. Yeah, so like if you, what are you talking about in here? No, it's probably part of the water system because it's the same component list as it was the other way. Sun position advancement from Talden on Twitch. How does one make the sun position advance at a custom rate of speed that doesn't seem jarring or super fast? Talden, have you seen my day-night cycle thing? I go into there and I even show you how to do like real-time movement. Muro Jr., how to make a transparent grid in the terrain like in the construction RTS. Okay, so if you're making like a grid up here, you could, for example, let's go to basic here, drag a plane out and just scale it up massively. Okay, so you have like a plane type thing, and you make a material for it. So we'll make a material, and we can use the world grid thing probably. I haven't got a material to use, so sorry, that's bad. World. No, what's it called? Grid? No, what do they call it? Oh, they got it in this list. Okay. Show engine content. Grid. Okay, there we go. We use that. So on this grid here, you'll plug that into the base color, and you may also put that into changing this from opaque to translucent, and then simply just put an opacity in here, so like that to 0.5, I don't know, and when you apply that you get this. That sort of fake grid material. Okay, and you can plug that onto that. Okay, and then you just scale that based on the scale of the extent. So you can tile it, for example. So I do a texture parameter thing, texture coordinates, coord, there we go, and tiling would do 20, 20, that'll do. Okay, and that's the grid. You can see through to the floor, and you just see a grid that you can use. And you can turn it off and on, how you want. Okay. Brennan Murray, how would you go about having the player possess a random character on play? So if it's a random, so well, okay. So on the game mode, so I'm gonna get rid of this thing here. So let's get rid of the network start and get rid of this character here. And on the game mode, I'll probably do it on here, and we'll go on begin play. In here, I have some variables in here, and this would be pawn list. So a list of all the pawns the player could possess, possibly. And this would be a list of pawns as an array. And you just put in here the various actors you need. So it needs to be a class, not a thing. Class. Not class. I'm sorry. Well late in the day for this. Pawn. And then class reference. And then you can choose which class they're going to use. So this may use the character. It may use the first person tutorial character. May use the I don't know, first person character. Whatever it may be. Then on begin play, you get the list out and you do get a copy. And you get the last index for this. And you do random int in range. Maximum is the last index. That goes into the get. And now you've got a random pawn class to use. And you just tell it to spawn actor in the world. So begin play. You spawn actor from class. Plug in your class, like so. And you tell it where to spawn using the spawn transform. And that's it, really. Okay. Hypersonically. Hi Ryan, I've been following along in your building tutorial series and I was wondering how would I make it so that a player can place an item if there isn't a block under it, but to the side, similar to what is present in games like Fortnite or Rust. I don't have time to go through it right now, but essentially you're doing a line trace out to the sides. So you get the actor's right vector, and that gets you the right hand direction, and then you multiply it by -1 to get the left hand direction. And you just check if any of those are true. If it's true, then you can place the item. If it's not true, then you can't place the item. And that's about it. You'd also have to take out where I snap it to the ground, so don't do that. That'd be where it'd be, I think. Okay, fractured vision. Hi Ryan, how to get a montage to work? Upper body slot when accessing the locomotion from a linked graph. What are you trying to do, fractured vision? Can you tell me what you're trying to do? Throw. So I can't do it on here because I don't have the animations, but if I go into these animations here, and this is like montage they've got here, you want to make sure that your montage is in a different slot than anything else. So go to your slot manager. If you don't have it, it's in the window. You can find a slot manager, and you add a new slot. So this one's got a slot for arms, and the animation is in the arm slot. Then on the animation blueprint, I wonder if this is really set up for it. No, it isn't. So on the animation blueprint, you'll have this setup where you have the state machine. You need to cache it. So you do saved cache. And the reason why you have to cache it is because you need to store the state coming out of it. You can't plug this into multiple places, so you need to store it as a sort of temporary variable. That's kind of what it's doing, really. And then once you've got that, we can name it locomotion, and that locomotion in cache, locomotion, get that out. You need 2 of them, and you need to do blend layered by bone, or blade blend per bone. So base pose would be the normal one, and if it's the cached pose, it'll go into the slot for arms and then do that pose there. Then you click on the layered blend per bone, go to the layer setup, and on the branch filters you add a new branch filter, and you choose the bone that you want to split down. So this is based on hierarchy. So if you want only the top half to work, you can basically take from the spine. So it'll take everything from here connected to it. So everything that's inside of it there will be affected and blended. So basically the top half of the body. So if you go into here and type in spine 01, that will now blend at that point. And you plug that in like so. So when the montage is played, it'll play in this slot here, and it'll overtake it and do this blend pose here and mix the two together. If you need to change the slot, you click on it and you can change the slot over here to different slots you may have available. So you can let you do any sort of thing, arms, legs, whatever you want. Jordan T, how would you handle a battle royale? Listen server or some kind of dedicated listen server? You need a dedicated server for battle royale. That's way too much data for someone's domestic internet. Star Wars gaming. How to make a sci-fi plane, or if it's easier, can you make a lightsaber that can do non-precision cuts? It would really help. Both of those aren't too bad. I'll try and do it. I've done the plane one before, but I'll try and do it again here. So let's make a blueprint class, pawn, ship, we'll call it. And I'll give it a mesh. And, I don't know, we'll give it a table. Cool, there's my spaceship. Then I want to make it fly, so I need a pawn movement component. Oh, my cat's crying at me now. Go away, you. Go away. Hang on, I'm gonna kick my cat out. Hang on. Come on. There you go. Sorry about that. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. So floating pawn movement, compile, and on here we'll do the movement input. So when you do move forward, you'd do that. Add movement input. Direction will be actor forward vector. Oh, not that one. Get actor forward vector. Plug that into there. Axis value goes into scale. And then you want to turn it around. So we've got the mouse inputs ready for that. So it's turn event. This is already part of the first person template, so I'm just using it. So when you turn, add controller yaw. And then we need look up. And you go add controller pitch. And we then do we'll do roll later. So that'll move the camera around. On here we want to make it so it uses the controller yaw, pitch and roll. And that's about it, I think. I could be missing something, but let's have a look. So if I put this out here, pardon me, and make it process it by default. So play at 0. And I haven't got a camera on it. Hang on, let's put a camera on it. Spring arm. And then a cam. Spring arm will make a bit longer. Not too long. And Do that. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I was messing stuff about in the game mode. Hang on. Let's turn that off. Okay. Push play. And now I can fly around as my table, using my mouse to do stuff. If you want to do rolling in as well, so if I want to use A and D to roll, on the ship here, I'm going to use A and D are tied to move right. So I do move right here. And we'll make it add controller roll input. And you plug that in. So now you can... Now the camera's attached to it, so I want to constrain that so it doesn't do that. Well, you could do it. It depends on what you're trying to do, I guess. By default, the roll has a limit. If you want to turn the limit off so you can go upside down, for that you have to go into the controller. But I don't have a custom controller yet, so what we can do it on here instead. But ideally, you'd have a custom controller to handle this. On begin play, get player controller. And set max, what's it called? Oh no, it's on the camera manager, sorry. Camera manager. There we go. And then from there, it's set max roll. And you want to type in 360. And that should hopefully allow you to do full... Oh wait, it won't do 360 because it's hang on. 359. 360 is basically the same as 0, so you're gonna get issues with that. No, what's going on there? I need a print string what the numbers are because I don't know what the numbers are. Hang on. Print string. Get rotation. And put in the roll there. And let's see what numbers are. I'm going to turn off the max thing here. So 0 to 90 and then minus 90. So I want my maximum to be 180 or 179. We'll get close like that. And we're going to set the minimum, set min roll to minus 179. 179. So now I should be able to go upside down. Yoink. Yeah. And if you want to make it more spaceshipy, on the spring arm here, you can put a lag on the camera. So enable camera lag. We'll leave it at 10 for now. But for now, let's see how that looks. And you get that more of a spaceship looking, flying around, doing pew-pews. Bosh. Bosh. And if you want it to be like in some spaceships where it's always moving forwards, but when you push it, it goes faster. So this is going to be its boost basically. I want it to be always equal to 1. So we're going to take that out and do plus. So I want it equal to 1 always, so 1. An access value will go into it. So that will actually go twice as fast when I push forwards. So it's always going to be moving forwards when I don't touch nothing. Oh, hello. But if I push forwards now, it should not work. Why isn't it working? It should work. Unless it has to be normalized, maybe that's not the issue there. Oh, you can do it with set speed. You can change the set speed on that. But for now, we'll just leave it like that. Is that all right? Oh, speed of the roll. If you want to change that, so you just see this way. It should just multiply this value. So this is taking a value in. So you just multiply this by a float, and if I multiply it by say 3. I'll disconnect that now. I don't need that. The roll will be a lot faster. Whoa. My table has bad collision with the floor. Like it pushes through it. Obviously, we set that properly with an actual collision settings and so forth. Okay. There you go. Spaceship. That's how you do basic spaceship movement. Anderson Cruz. How to make a 3-band cell shader. 1 for shadow, 1 for midtones, and 1 for highlights. And also add outlines. Man, I can't show that all in one video, one session today. There's a lot to that. With regards to the multi-band cell shading, there is a few ways to go about that. I've done one before where basically we remap the light values. But I say it's too much to do in one video. I will try and do a video on it. It's too much to do right now, unfortunately. But there is multiple ways of doing it. Can you make a dice roll? Like an actual physical dice that you see rolling around? Novice, is that what you mean? Let me know what you mean. Do you mean like an actual dice roll, or do you want me just to push a button and it tells me a number between 1 and 6? Or 1 and 20 if you're doing 20 die. Maltese Paradise. How do I make a single body or skeleton do 2 separate animations, as in I want the head and top to follow the camera and the body to stop rotating at a certain point? So you want aim offsets. I've got a video about it. Check out aim offset. That's what you want to do. Again, too much to do in one video, but I've got a video already about that. So check out aim offsets. Dice. So yeah, you can make a dice roll. Okay, let's make a dice. Okay, let's give him a spaceship. Don't want a spaceship anymore. And let's put a player character back in there. And I should be able to now control the player character. Sweet. Okay. Okay, so let's make a dice. So movement dice, actor, dice. So what we can do on here is we wanted to say when it stopped moving. So what you need to do is a tick event, because you need to constantly check if what their movement is. So first of all, I also add the cube to it, because it is a cube, and attach that to the root. You want the cube to be the root, and obviously you have pictures on it for like the texture, but for now I don't have time to make that. But on the tick here, if we take the get actor, let me just double check this. Get actor forward, no, up vector. I just want to print string this. Does this change when it's falling around? Let me make that physics based. And let me just drop that in the world. Yes, it does. Sweet. Okay, so we use the up vector to handle this. So, okay, that's good. So when we've got event tick happening, we need to check what the velocity is. So get velocity, and we get the length of it. So this is checking if it stopped moving, basically. So if the dice has stopped moving, we're going to check if this is less than or equal to. And you don't want to put 0, you want to put a slightly above 0, so 0.5, for example. And let's put that into a branch. And then we tell it to run a function, and that is a call result. And we do a print string on it for now. So that's a hello. So on here, when it's true, we'll call result. Compile and push that. Oh, I'll put it in the game. So push play, off it goes. So it stopped now, saying hello. So it said hello at start because it was just spawned in before it started moving. But once it stopped moving now, it says hello. Okay. So what we do a little delay on the start here so it doesn't do that. Not that delay, sorry. Okay, so we only want to do this if we're simulating physics. So drag the cube out, is simulating physics, and do that as a branch, and that is true. Okay, so it only does the check if we are simulating physics. If we're not simulating physics, it will do nothing. On begin play, we'll tell it to simulate physics to be true, and add impulse. And the impulse would do random vector, and we'll multiply that by a strength. So I don't know, 100. I don't know how much this will change. Target is cube, and that should now launch around somewhere. Probably have to add a bit more weight to it. So change that to 1000. Nope, bit more. Let's try 50,000. Yeah, so it done it there. Okay, so it done that. Let's add a bit more weight to it. So ideally, what would make this better is to actually get the weight of the actual object. Get its mass, and you want to multiply the mass by 1000. Plug that into there. Okay, and it does that. Okay, so now we've got that doing that, we need to call the result. So on call result, we need to get the up vector. So get actor up vector. And for this is going to be a bit of annoyance. So we're going to split this, and we are looking at. Oh Christ! We need to round these numbers, don't we? So. This is where it gets tricky. So I want to do up vector. So if up vector's value of the z-axis, no, the x-axis is 1. So if this is nearly equal to 1 with an error tolerance of 0.05, whatever, we'll print string, not print string, branch, and that is true. We print string result equals 1. I think. So that should equal 1. No, okay. What is? I need to get out what actually which axis it's using. Print string here. Get actor up vector. It'd probably be Z. Yeah, Z axis. So, okay, still using the world coordinates. That's fine. At least I know that now. So that's going to do that and output 1 when that lands face up. So that will output 1. Yep, result 1. If the value then goes down to next one, we're going to take this, and if this is closer to -1, that'll be the opposite of the 1 result. So put that in there. Branch, and the opposite of that would be 6, because opposite sides of a die add up to 7. So that'd be that one. Then we keep doing it. So we're going to copy, paste, and this time we're not going to do Z, we're going to do the X. So if X is equal to 1, this is going to equal to 3. Yeah, I think. Plug that in. If it's closer to -1 in the X, it'll equal 4. There's probably a better way of doing this, but you know, this will work. Y goes into there. Y equals 1 will equal 2. And last but not least, when it's closer to -1 in the Y, result will be equal to 5. So let's just roll the die now. Okay, let's add a bit of spin to it. How can I add spin to it? Add impulse. I know. Let's just start it off a bit angled. There we go. Push play. Off it goes. So result 1. Result 1 again. Oh crap. 6. So if I turn that over, oh wait, no. One. So it's not doing the opposite sides. Oh no, it is doing the opposite sides. I need to output the result. Hang on. Get actor up vector. Print string this all the time. So crap. Okay, so that is closer to. Oh, right, it's because the value isn't perfect. It's like not landing exactly. So where I've got this error tolerance of 0.05, if I do this error tolerance of 0.1, hopefully that'd be better. 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. And that's it. Oh. Uh, I don't know why it's looping. Oh yeah, because I have to tell it to stop simulating physics. Stop simulate physics to be false, and make it turn it back on when I hit it. So hit cube. Oh, cube. If other is casting to a projectile, okay. Simulate physics to be true. Okay, let's turn that off. No, let's not worry about doing that. Let's just go into cool result and turn that off there, and just turn this off. Now let's have a look. Result 3. Result 4. It should be a 3 or a 4. Or 1. Alright, maybe not. Be easier if I had pictures on it, but I don't. So that didn't work that time. 1. Yeah, why is that not working? 2. Try and work out what number doesn't work. 6 works, 1 works, 2 works. I think we saw 3 as well, didn't we? 2 works. 1 works. Oh, shit. Okay, I have to look into that one. There's probably a better way of doing it. But something like that, I would imagine. I don't want to stick too long on it because I want to make sure I answer other people. There was one person I was going to go back to. Who was it? Did I forget to did I? Z 1 minus 1. No, it's there. True. 6 1. True. Minus 1 1. Oh wait, that one. That would break that. That'd be minus 1 here. Okay, so 5. I thought 5 was looking a bit ropey. Let's try that again then. Still, that error tolerance kicking in. Not as I want it to be. 1. Let's change the error tolerance to 0.2. Oh. There's 5. So that wasn't come up before, now it does. 1, 3. I think we're just missing 4 and 6, aren't we? 4, 5. So all we have to do is put a texture on it matching this. So that's still... I think when it lands at a certain angle, it doesn't register it. So, don't know how you go about doing that. Trying to get 6 to trigger. And all the others. I'll try and turn it over. There you go. There you go. Noah Games, do you know the Groom plugin? I don't. What is it? Can I ask you not to spam just your questions? I will be less likely to answer it. If you flood it, you're probably not going to get it. So we're going to take one more question. Try and find one. How to set specific positions for cards to be laid out on a card game like Solitaire or Hearts. You can use any kind of scene component for that, and you make it snap to it. So when you do, I can't really make an example right now, but if you were to make a snappable point, so blueprint class, and you do, I don't know, actor, do it card position, whatever. And you can drag it into worlds. You give it like an invisible box that you can click on, and when you drag a mouse over to it, or when you click on it, it'll trigger that click and snap it to that position. You just get the transform of this position, and that's about it, really. And let's take one more. Question. I'll go for this one, as it's a nice way to end it. Thingamajig, how are you feeling? I'm okay. Very, very tired. Children keep screaming all through the night. Okay. We're going to end it there. We've got a few questions done there tonight. So again, we're doing this next Wednesday as well. Every Wednesday going forwards. And a top tip, if you want your question answered, don't spam the chat with it. I'm going to be less likely to answer it if you just bully everyone else's questions out of the chat. Okay? So take that in mind next time, the 2-3 of you that are doing that. Other than that, have a great week. I'm live again on Saturday, so join us next time on Saturday. Otherwise, I'll see you next week on Question Time, where we'll do more questions like this every Wednesday as per normal. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye.